As the Antarctic sun peeks over the jagged ice cliffs, casting a pale orange hue across the frozen expanse, a single emperor penguin stirs. Nestled in a huddle of black and white bodies, its tightly packed form begins to shift, head lifting from its chest, eyes blinking slowly in the biting cold. The temperature hovers well below freezing, but the warmth of the colony and the thick layer of blubber beneath its feathers keeps the penguin alive and alert. It takes several minutes before it makes its first move. In the Antarctic, nothing happens fast. With a slow waddle, it begins to disengage from the group, tiny snow crystals clinging to its feathers as it steps away. The air is dry, the wind relentless, but the penguin is unfazed. This is home. This desolate white landscape, devoid of trees or shelter, is where it was born and where it must now survive. First priority, check on the egg. Balanced precariously atop its feet, under a thick flap of abdominal skin known as a brood pouch, rests a single egg. The male has been guarding it for weeks without food, enduring brutal cold while the female has been at sea, hunting fish, squid, and krill. He lifts the flap just slightly, peering down to ensure the egg remains warm, uncracked, and nestled safely. Then he gently folds the skin back down, sealing in the heat. There are hundreds, sometimes thousands of others around him doing the exact same thing. The colony is a maze of nearly identical figures, each standing vigil, waiting, conserving energy. There is no territorial aggression, no boundaries. Instead, there is community. If one penguin has trouble finding its chick or egg after returning from the sea, the others will sometimes help, but not always. As the day brightens, the colony begins to buzz with subtle activity. A few females return from the ocean, fattened by weeks of foraging, bellies full of food to regurgitate for their newly hatched chicks. The moment a female returns, she begins to call. A high-pitched, almost mournful sound that echoes across the ice. Males perk up, heads twist and turn, searching for the source of the call. One male recognizes the sound and begins calling back, his pitch matching hers. The reunion is precise. Each penguin has a unique vocal signature, and despite the chaos, they find each other. A nearby chick, only a few days old, lets out a weak chirp from beneath its father's brood pouch. It's hungry, but the father has nothing left to give. His only hope is that the female returns soon. The anticipation builds, and every second feels like an eternity. The chick shifts, chirping with increasing urgency. The father doesn't move. He waits, still and focused, his entire being devoted to one singular task, protecting life. Later, a group of penguins begins the long trek to the ocean. It's miles away, a brutal march across windswept plains and slick ice, but it's necessary. The males who have endured the starvation phase must now eat. This is where coordination becomes essential. Penguins march in lines, one after the other, tightly packed for protection against the wind. They take turns leading and falling back, sharing the brunt of the icy gusts. The ice cuts across their faces like knives, but the unity keeps them going. Every step is a small triumph. But not all journeys are noble. In a shaded corner of the colony, away from the crowd, a different drama plays out, one that tugs at the fragile fabric of empathy. A female penguin, having lost her chick days earlier, stands over an unattended one. Its parent may have gone to feed or been caught by a predator, it's hard to say. But the female leans in. She chirps softly, trying to coax the chick toward her. It chirps back, confused. This is the heartbreaking truth. Some penguins attempt to steal chicks. Scientists believe it's a desperate reaction to the grief of losing their own. These females don't act out of malice, but instinct, an overpowering maternal drive to nurture. Still, it often ends in violence. The true mother may return and fight, the chick may be injured. The stolen young are rarely accepted by the colony and often die. It's nature at its most tragic. A gut-wrenching glimpse of how emotion and survival blur in the animal kingdom. Elsewhere, chicks begin to hatch. The thin shell of an egg cracks open slowly, a tiny beak poking through. The father watches silently, eyes fixed, body frozen in protective mode. It can take hours for a chick to fully emerge, wet and weak, feathers matted. But when it does, the bond is instant. The father leans down, nudging it with his beak, memorizing its scent and sound. If the mother is nearby, she joins the greeting, and the first feeding begins. The cold remains constant, but life continues. Penguins don't build nests. They rely on their bodies, their warmth, and their instincts. Their feet become cradles, their feathers shields. And when the time comes, they switch roles. Once the mother returns and is strong enough, she takes over chick duty, allowing the father to make his own journey to the sea. It's a delicate balance, each parent rotating between survival and sacrifice. The rhythm of life hinges on perfect timing and unwavering endurance. The penguin marches begin again in the late afternoon. Those returning from the ocean are coated in ice, bellies swollen with food. They slide on their bellies for speed, propelling themselves across the ice like toboggans, then pop up with surprising agility. When they arrive, the feeding ritual begins. Chicks chirp wildly, pressing against their parents, beaks open. The parent opens its own mouth and regurgitates a slurry of fish and krill, warm, pre-digested, and packed with energy. The chick gulps it down eagerly. Penguins can recognize their chick by sound alone. In a sea of hungry mouths, they never feed the wrong one. This vocal recognition is vital. Without it, chaos would unravel the whole system. And yet, despite their skill, tragedies still occur. Chicks wander. Parents are delayed. Weather shifts. A sudden storm can blanket the entire colony in snow, burying chicks or disorienting adults. Survival is never guaranteed. Every day is a tightrope walk between life and loss. The Antarctic light begins to shift again. As evening approaches, it fades into a soft blue. Shadows stretch across the ice. The penguins tighten their huddles. They form rings, taking turns on the outer edges to shield others from the cold. Those in the center sleep. Those on the edges brace against the wind. It's a rotating fortress of warmth, a communal heartbeat pulsing against nature's freeze. No individual rules the group, and yet, together they defy the impossible. Even in sleep, penguins remain alert. A sudden crack of ice, a gust too strong, or the cry of a nearby predator, a skua circling above, or a leopard seal breaking through the edge of the ice, can jolt them back into motion. But tonight is calm. The stars shimmer above, their lights scattered and dim, barely visible through the cloud cover. The chick that hatched this morning now sleeps against its mother's belly, safe and full. The father has already begun his journey to the ocean. The mother's eyes close slowly, her body still, feathers rustling softly in the wind. Around her, the colony rests. Heartbeats slow, breath clouds gently in the cold air. Tomorrow will demand everything again, but for now, the ice holds steady. In the most inhospitable corner of the earth, life persists, not with speed but with grit, not with strength but with unity. The penguin does not dominate its world, it endures it, and in that endurance lies something deeply noble. The colony is a testament to cooperation, resilience, and the quiet power of perseverance. This was a day in the life of a penguin.